Good morning and welcome to Demos from the House. Yeah, that's what we'll call it. Anyway, so today I am going to do a demo or a little bit of inspiration, I suppose, for using up things that you've possibly bought in the past from Jewelry Maker, things you've got in the house. Oops, sorry, I just kicked the tripod. Oh, I'm trying to stay short as well today. But anyway, so this is one of our bracelet forms that we have sold in the past. I have actually got quite a few of them, and I was trying to think of a way of how to kind of grungy them up, steampunk them up and things like that. This was just a little bit of a prototype. So this is the kind of thing that we're going to do today. And you know, it just involves a lot of things that perhaps you've already got in your house. If you perhaps like creating things like your steampunk or your grungy style jewelry, or maybe you just want to have a go, you know, and you've bought these things and you're not quite sure how to use them. So today is the day that we are going to learn together and just have a play. You know, this isn't, you know, anything, I suppose it's a little bit of inspiration more than a demonstration. So let's just go with that. We'll go with that. So to start off with, I have got, where is it? I have actually tried to get everything set up today on my desk. I have had this tape in my crafty arsenal for a long time, and I bought this tape from a DIY shop, and it's literally just insulation tape. It is an aluminium tape, and it is fantastic for crafting with. So I have used this on mixed media projects. I do a journal. If I just show you here, I've got a journal just here. I've used it in, where is he? If I just open that up, I've used it, you know, alongside just doing things on my art journal. So, you know, that's why I've actually got it. But then I thought, how can I kind of incorporate it into my jewelry making? So I kind of have been having a play with some things. I've been using up old packaging, so it's literally just old cardboard and things like that. I've got a some copper tape as well that I have used in the past for soldering, but then just sort of created little kind of chess pieces, not chess pieces, like domino style pieces, and you can incorporate these into assemblage style jewelry, which I probably will do maybe next week if I can get some other bits together. So I have cut a couple of strips of these, and what I have done is, obviously I won't be able to show you because it's quite a big area, but what I have done, this is a Tim Holtz alterations die, and I can't not die, embossing folder. And literally what an embossing folder is you pop it through an embossing machine, and one side is convex and the other side is concave, so then when they sit together they kind of sit inside each other. And when you're putting it through the die cutting machine, there's two rollers and they squeeze everything together, and then that is when you get your shape or your emboss, I suppose. And then this is what we are left with. So I've literally just put the tape through the die cutting or the embossing folder and through my die cutting machine. So I have done that. So what we are going to be working on is, instead of the bracelet, I thought I would work on one of these collars. Now I've gone ahead already and kind of popped on some of the tape, and I think it looks fantastic. And I'm literally I did do for the bracelet, where is she? Oh, there she is. For the bracelet, I just literally put it all on in one go. If I was to do it again, I would probably, instead of, because I took all of the backing off and then just put it on, I would probably do it stage by stage, so then you get a little bit more of a smoother finish instead of having these lines. But if you want it grungy, then that is perfect. You could then, if you wanted to, overlap this with some polymer clay or anything like that. So, you know, use it as a good base. So I've literally just gone ahead and I'm going to kind of do this, hopefully, and stay in shot. I'm just going to take the backing off of the tape here, and I'm just going to place it onto my necklace. Okay, you can sort of smooth it down with your fingers. Now, the way I smooth it down properly is I use these, this is just a little bit of, it's paper, and you basically use it for blending when you're drawing and things like that. But I've actually got some, and I think I got them from the range, but I'm sure you can get them from all good artist shops anyway. Possibly Amazon, because that's probably the only place that's open that sells that type of thing anyway at the moment. Just take a swig of coffee. Right, so then what I do is I'm going to go in now and then just literally burnish this down, trying kind of to avoid the areas that are embossed, like your rivets and things like that, but that's fine. So we're just gonna keep doing that. And what I will possibly do, because as you can see, we're just trying to get that as flat as possible. Now obviously you're going to see lumps and bumps. That's obviously part of that's on the choker there. Just hoping I'm in shot this time. What a nana, eh? Anyway, so just burnishing that all the way down. So what I'm going to do now is I'll probably stick on all of the rest, and then, I mean, look at that effect. That's amazing. Don't worry about the edges. I will go through that after I've popped on all of these, and then you can see what I'm going to do. So what I'll probably do is put you into fast motion, and you can see, is that an air bubble, or is that, no, it's not an air bubble, that is part of the, so, and then you can see how this is going to look. So let's play some lovely music and you will see me going in fast motion. Okay, so this is what we are now left with, which I think looks really, really, really cool. So what we're going to do now is, not that there are many edges, but I've got a bone folder here. You know, we have got these on the website, fake bone folders. And if there is any just on the sides here, as there might be just here, I'm literally just going to go around. There's a little bit there that's tucked under that we don't want. Just rip that off there. And then I'm literally just going to go around, and you're literally just going to burnish the edges. So if you wanted to, you could then come back in with your, you can use anything, a cotton bud or something like that would actually work just as well. As if you do polymer clay, maybe one of the rubber tipped, have I got one to hand? No, but one of the rubber tipped tools or something like that you could possibly use. So don't think there's any on the edge there. There's none on the edge there. Might be a little bit there, but that's it. Actually, it's quite lucky, that one. So that is everything all nicely stuck down. So as you can see here, I actually just created a little bit of kind of like a rust and aged effect. If you have got black acrylic paint, literally just paint it over with black acrylic paint and then wipe it back over with a baby wipe or a wet cloth, because that will take off the most of the acrylic paint, but the acrylic paint will then sit in all of the crevices. Now I actually couldn't find my acrylic paint, so I've actually used, and I shall show you here because I'm going to do it for you, some StazOn ink. And this is a solvent based ink, and it's used, you can use this on porous, non-porous surfaces. So if you are a crafter or a stamper like myself, do not use this type, because this is a water-based ink, and that will not work. So do not use this. You need to use a solvent-based ink. So you need something like a StazOn or something like that. So I'm literally just going to take the lid off of that, and I'm also going to use a Common All Garden shaving brush. I use these all the time for blending my inks and things like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to pop in and just give that a little bit of a brush, and then I'm going to just, because it'll sit over the whole of the metal. Now if I just concentrate on one area, you'll possibly be able to see. There we go. And it just, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but it just darkens that up. If I hold it down there maybe. But you'll see the whole effect at the end. I mean, you can see how shiny everything else is. So I am going to go round and I am going to literally just dust this with some black ink, just to kind of grunge it up a little bit and make it look like it's been kind of through the wars. So let's carry on with music. Okay, so we've now kind of grunged up that part. Now I want it to look a little bit rusty. Now I know in the past we have sold the patina for metal and clay by Vintage. It's a offset of Ranger, and it is literally like an alcohol based ink pigment, I think, yeah, and it literally just, it adheres to metals and your polymer clays and things like that. So this is how we are going to create our rust. I'm not actually going to use that colour. I have got an ink, alcohol ink. Bear with, bear with. I did put it away. Not that one. There she is. There she is. So I'm going to use this one, even though it is it's definitely, it's all the same brand, but these ones are like Tim Holtz. This one is ginger, and this one is called, what is this one called? I'm not sure, but there is the number, VP132953. So there we go. So this is what I'm going, oh blimey, I am sorry. So this is what we're going to be using. Now to apply it, I've literally just got an old makeup sponge. Well, it was a new one, but I cut it up. And this is what I use for creating my kind of rusty looks. So this is what I used on the bracelet. As you can see here, we've used that on the bracelet. So this is what I'm going to use on here. So what I'm going to do first is get the patina, and I'm just going to give it a good shake. It has got apparently it's got a ball in it somewhere, but anyway, so we've just shook that up a little bit, and I'm literally just going to, oh look at that, that's nice, isn't it? I'll just use this bit of book page that's hanging a bit. There we go. I'm going to just dab a couple of dots onto there, like so, and then on each kind of bit of this, we're just going to just add so it looks a little bit like rust, okay, in certain places. And afterwards, once this is dried, we can go back over it with the black ink as well, so that's going to add a little bit more dimension. So I'm just going to go around and do that on the aluminium part. So I literally just put a couple of dots like so, and one of these is going to last you forever and a day if this is how if you just use it very sparingly. And I'm just trying to create a rusted sort of look. As you can see there, we're just kind of creating I mean, I've got this at a really awkward angle, but obviously if you're having a go, and I'd love to know if you are having a go, and I'd love to see your results, because, you know, I think at the bottom of all of these videos, I think if you put in a photo and things like that, then we can maybe all enjoy everybody's makes that they're doing at home. As you can see there, I'm literally just, I don't want to, you know, go overboard, and it dries pretty quickly, so you want to be quite quick with it. So I'm going to do this a little bit more, and hopefully you'll see the results in a few. Okay, so that is now our the background. So now I'm going to work on a little bit of a pendant, maybe to go on the front here. Now obviously we're going for a grungy kind of steampunk look, and what I'm going to do is, I understand not everybody will have these, but you could have just maybe a cabochon or something like that you could then possibly glue onto the front. So for example, something like that, or even sometimes I use bottle tops and then pop a little picture inside, and you could do something along those lines if you wanted to. There are so many things that you could do. You know, we've got a beautiful labradorite cabochon there that you could literally, if you wanted to wire wrap that and then pop that on the front of there, that would look exquisite. So you know, or I've actually done one with polymer clay just there, and you could then bake that onto there if you wanted. Obviously not that design, but if you did something little bit like that, then you could do something like that. But we are going to utilize some of the cup chain that we have been selling in the past. Now what I've done is just move that out of the way. What I've done here, I've literally cut out on a die cutting machine. I have got some of these Steampunk gear die cuts, or die cutting dies. Goodness me, why couldn't I get the words out? And I'm literally just using up bits of scrap card. So I'm just going to show you how I use this. So I've got my die cutting machine here. As I said to you earlier, this isn't the one that I used for the embossing, because this one's too small, but you've got your mouth there, and there are two wheels. I don't know if you can see that inside just there, and this is what it's going to cut. So these they're sharp, but they're not sharp too sharp to cut yourself if you don't obviously push your finger in too hard. Pop that on top of there, and then I've got my plates, And then I'm literally just going to wind this through if I can without hitting everything. And that cracking is all good. And then we'll bring it back through. And then I can just get rid of that. And then once we lift all of this up, you'll see that that has then cut that nice and perfectly. So we can then get rid of all of these little bits here that I do keep because I use these for my art journaling. So I just move these out of the way. And then what I've done is I've literally cut, I think, how many have I cut of these? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's 4 that I've cut on here and literally just stuck them together. So then you're creating quite a thick piece. So I can probably just stick this one on just for you right now. And the glue I've used for this, you can use any PVA glue, but just because it's a precision tip, I've got this one here and it is from Tonic Studios. So just going to literally this, I mean, this stuff sticks so well, it's unbelievable. So I'm just going to dot that around like so. And then we shall glue that to our piece. I'm just going to lift that up and glue that on. Go down with a little bit of pressure. Get your bone folder that we had earlier on, and then just literally just push that all down. And it kind of, you're kind of creating a little bit like a chipboard style piece. So we just move that there. You've got a little bit of wiggle room with it. There we go. So we've now created a our wheel, so to speak. So to pop on the cut chain, I know we have sold like glossy accents and things like that in the past. Any type of glue that will stick metal is perfect. I just use this because it just sticks and it dries clear anyway. So I've used it for that. And then I've also cut out some more of the cogs and things, and I've literally made a decoration of that. And then to create this kind of metallic look, I'm going to show you what I did. I've got these 2 paints here. They're literally just a what are they called? This one's bronze brocade, and this one is pearl satin. So if you've got any of our mica powders or anything like that that you've bought in the past and you don't know what to do with, add a little bit of water and you can pop these onto here and it will look absolutely perfect. So I'm literally just going to use my fingers and barely touch. I'm going to barely touch and then just go around the wheel like so, and then just kind of brush out. So it's a bit like a wax. We used to do the gilding waxes years ago, and if you've still got some of those, I think I have somewhere, then utilize those in this type of design as well. So we're just creating a little bit of a metallic look. So I've got the silver there, and then we want to kind of grunge it up a little bit, make it look a little bit old, maybe just tiny little bit of rust just around the edges there. Just go in, you just need the tiniest amount just to give that little effect there. And then what I'm going to do is I will be putting this over the top, so obviously I need to just see where. So we'll put some, ooh, that's a bit too much, put some just up here, and then we can kind of, there we go. So I've just grunged that up a little bit. We shall move all of this out of the way, and then the time has come to glue this down. And what I'm going to do is pop this at the front of my necklace, and I will glue that down with this, but obviously I won't be able to do it right now because it will take its time to dry. So, and then I will stick that on top of there. I've actually popped some in the center anyway. So that is what the finished necklace will look like. If you wanted to, after. I will take a few pictures and I will show you after what it actually looks like. You could add chains to this or anything like that. But I just thought I would come on and show you how to utilise things in your craft room, things that you've probably bought because you're like, oh, that's a great idea, and then forgotten how to use them. And basically just trying to make the most of what we've got at home. Excuse me, needed a drink then. So that is, I will take some photographs of when this is all finished and everything's all glued on. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you tomorrow. I have got a great demo for tomorrow. I've really been looking forward to this one, actually. I've been wanting to try it for a long time, so now is the perfect time. So if you want to see a great mixed media, another mixed media kind of project, then please do tune in tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow on my morning walk. But thank you so much for watching. You look after yourselves, you look after everybody else, you just stay safe and have fun and get in that craft room and get exploring and show me what you make. That's what I'd love to see. Is, yeah, let's have our own wall of fame. Show me what you make, and then maybe tomorrow I can highlight and show some of the things that you've been making. So that would be fantastic, actually. If you are making anything, please do send, you know, pop it, link it below, or any way you want to send it to me, and I shall do a little bit of a gallery like they used to do on, oh, what was that program? Oh, you're all shouting it to me now, aren't you? Tom? What was that programme with the gallery in? Tony Hart. That's it. I answered my own question. Anyway, oh, the wonders of your brain. Right, I shall see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.